In the charming town of Nonsensica, where the sun painted the sky in hues of bubblegum pink and lemon yellow, a row of fantastical buildings stood along the main street. These whimsical structures, collectively known as the Silly Stores, were the heart and soul of the town. Each store was a testament to creativity, absurdity, and the unbridled joy of embracing the silly side of life. At the very beginning of the row stood Wobblewigs Whizbangs, a vibrant emporium owned by the ever-jovial Mr. Jingles. His shop was a kaleidoscope of colors and laughter, with shelves adorned with wigs of every conceivable shape and size. As the town's eccentric wig maker, Mr. Jingles had hair that defied gravity, a wild cascade of colors that changed with his mood. Whenever a customer entered his store, they were greeted with a whimsical dance and a catchy tune, setting the tone for the delightful experience that awaited them. Wig enthusiasts and curious passers-by alike flocked to Wobblewigs Whizbangs to try on the most peculiar wigs imaginable. There were buzzing beehive wigs that hummed with a gentle melody, levitating afros that hovered above the wearer's head, and even talking toupees that offered sage advice in moments of uncertainty. Mr. Jingles' infectious laughter echoed through the store, creating an atmosphere where silliness was not just encouraged but celebrated. Adjacent to Wobblewigs Whizbangs was the Twisty Treats Emporium, a haven for those with a sweet tooth and a penchant for the peculiar. Miss Taffy Twist, the whimsical candy maker, was the creative genius behind the shop. With her candy cane-striped apron and hair tied up in licorice twists, she concocted treats that defied the laws of flavor and texture. From squiggly lollipops that changed colors with each lick to giggling gummy bears that told jokes when bitten, Twisty Treats Emporium was a wonderland of sugary delights. Miss Taffy Twist herself could often be found twirling through the store, handing out samples of her latest confections and spreading laughter as contagious as the delightful treats she created. Further down the street stood Zigzag Zonkers, a store that seemed to exist in a realm where the laws of physics took a break. Professor Peculiar, the enigmatic owner, was a master of creating things that defied logic and reason. The store was a maze of optical illusions, featuring shoes that made you walk on the ceiling, hats that doubled as birdhouses, and staircases that looped in perplexing patterns. Professor Peculiar, with his perpetually raised eyebrows and rotating bow tie, greeted visitors with a mischievous twinkle in his eye. His inventions were not just novelties, they were gateways to a world where the ordinary was extraordinary. Customers would leave Zigzag Zonkers with a new perspective on reality, marveling at the wonders of whimsy that surrounded them. The silly stores reached their pinnacle of absurdity with the Whimsy Workshop, a haven for those seeking the companionship of imaginary friends. The workshop was run by a team of mischievous artists who believed that everyone, no matter their age, needed a touch of silliness in their lives.
With names like Sir Giggles-a-Lot and Lady Doodle Dance, the imaginary friends brought laughter and joy to those who welcomed them into their lives. The artists at the Whimsy Workshop crafted whimsical companions with care, ensuring that each imaginary friend was as unique as the person who would call them their own. From invisible friends who excelled in hide-and-seek to imaginary pets that could perform circus tricks, the workshop was a place where creativity knew no bounds. One sunny day, the townsfolk of Nonsensica decided to celebrate the magic of the silly stores with a grand silly street parade. The streets were adorned with banners and confetti as people from all walks of life donned Wobblewigs Whizbangs creations, tossed twisty treats to the crowd, and marched in zigzags with Zigzag Zonkers' enchanted footwear. As the parade reached its climax, the Whimsy Workshop artists unveiled a fleet of inflatable, imaginary creatures that danced through the air. The townspeople laughed and cheered, reveling in the joy of the silly stores that had brought so much magic to their lives. From that day forward, Nonsensica became a destination for those seeking a bit of silliness in their lives. The silly stores not only brought laughter to the town but also taught its residents the importance of embracing the absurd and finding joy in the unexpected. The vibrancy of Wobblewigs and Whizbangs, the sweetness of Twisty Treats Emporium, the wonder of Zigzag Zonkers, and the companionship of the Whimsy Workshop transformed Nonsensica into a place where every day was a celebration of the delightful and the absurd. And so, in the heart of Nonsensica, the silly stores continued to thrive, making the world a little bit brighter, one wobble, twist, zigzag, and imaginary friend at a time. Visitors from far and wide would travel to Nonsensica to experience the magic of the silly stores, knowing that in this whimsical town, silliness was not just a choice but a way of life.